Now joining me on the Peerless Boilers Hotline, Peerless builds America's best boilers, is New England Patriots linebacker and special team player Niko Koutouvides. Niko, Zach Gelb here, TalkUSA.tv. Thank you for joining me, and how are you doing this evening?
No problem. It's good. I'm doing good. I'm actually just leaving the facilities now. How you doing, Zach?
I'm doing great myself, and since this interview is sponsored by the fine folks at Peerless Boilers, it's only fitting that we start with your college football team, the Purdue Boilermakers. They had an impressive bowl victory the other day in the Little Caesars Bowl over Western Michigan. Did you happen to catch that game by any means?
Yeah, I did. It was kind of an interesting game. A lot of onside kicks and a lot of gadget plays, and they made it interesting. It was fun, though. It was good to watch, high-scoring game. The Boilers came out on top, and that's all that matters.
Well, last week, going back to the game against the Dolphins, you had some hit on special teams. Do you think that Dolphins player is still feeling that hit this week?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just out there trying to do my job. My MO and how I made my bones in this league, it's been on special teams. So I take a lot of pride in it. And, when I have an opportunity to go out there and make plays, I try to make them.
Well, you've had an interesting role with this team this year. You did get that start up against the Indianapolis Colts, but besides that, you've really been known as a special teams player. How do you keep that momentum going on the field when you do have those opportunities, so when you're on the special teams side of the ball, you get ready to go in and making a play?
Well, you just always got to prepare each week. You got to be prepared to play defense, and you got to be prepared to play special teams. If something happens to somebody, or, if there's an injury, or, somehow, some way, coach calls your name to go in the game, you got to be ready to play. And you get those opportunities, you got to make the most out of them. Because, you got your teammates are counting on you to go out there and perform at a high level. And, if someone gets injured or something happens, you don't want any fall off. So, I prepare every week like I'm going to be the starter, and, whatever the coach's decisions are at the end of the week, we kind of fall into place that way.
Well, last week you guys did not get off to a good start up against the Dolphins. You found yourself in a 17-0 hole going into halftime. What was halftime like in that locker room? We've heard a lot of stories this week. What did Bill Belichick say to you guys?
He was just saying, everyone just do your job. Concentrate on what you're supposed to do. Everybody relax. There's still a lot of football to be played. And, it was a true sign of what kind of character this team has. When you're winning, everybody's happy, everything goes well. But, when you're down 17 points going into halftime, it kind of shows what type of team, we had and how would we respond to it. And, we responded well, and we came out, and we got the victory.
And this season has been dedicated to the late Myra Kraft. You have been wearing the MHK on your jerseys. And after the game, we all saw the moment through Patriots Access and all that stuff in the locker room. Just describe that scene in the locker room after the game when the Patriots decided to honor the great Myra Kraft.
Yeah, it was a great moment. It was obviously, I thank the whole Kraft the Kraft family and the whole organization for actually giving me the opportunity to be back here. It was a special moment for him and his family. It was on a personal level, so we'll just kind of keep it at that, of from us as a team and them as a family. It was a nice moment, and it was something that we felt needed to be dedicated.
Patriots
to him and his family, and especially his wife.
Patriots linebacker Niko Koutouvides joining us right in here on the Peerless Boilers Hotline. Zach Gelb for TalkUSA.tv. And Niko, I know you weren't on the team last time the Patriots played the Bills, but are your teammates, do they still have a bitter taste in their mouths after that Bills game?
I'm really not one to kind of ask that question. I'm just, we just kind of focus on the next game, and obviously the Bills are our opponent this week, so we just game plan like we do every week on how we're going to play them, and, we kind of take it from that, and that's it. We kind of don't really look back on what happened in the past, because, we're kind of in the now and in the future of this week, so we kind of focus on them, and that's kind of pretty much it. I don't really sense, that much bad blood. I just sense everybody focusing on the game at hand.
Well, the Patriots, Bill Belichick has done a great job this year with this football team. The defense has not been great, but there have been some slight sides of improvement through the course of this season. We've seen tons of guys on the offensive side of the ball playing on the defensive side of the ball. Julian Edelman and Matthew Slater have been playing on that defensive side of the ball. When you were growing up as a kid, though, did you always play linebacker or did you play other positions?
I played other positions. When I first started playing football, I was kind of a little short, chunky little guy, so I played actually center and nose tackle on defense. So I was started the midget football as a lineman, and then as I kind of grew in height and got taller, I kind of sprouted out and got a little skinnier and more athletic, and kind of started to play more of the skills position.
And we've seen a lot of roster transactions this year. Ross Ventrone has been moving back and forth. I think he's been cut, actually, and re-signed some number of 21 times. You've been cut in the preseason, and then you were brought back this year. When you were cut from the New England Patriots back in August, did you ever think you'd be back with this football team?
You get a sense where you can be, you might be, but, the NFL, it's a crazy business. I got phone calls from other teams. It didn't work out. And then, I got the call from the Patriots in week 8, and it happened to work out. And, I was happy and glad to be part of this great organization. And I just thank Coach Belichick for definitely bringing me back. And, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy being here. I enjoy being a Patriot. It's fun playing here on Sundays, and just looking forward to the next game.
And when you got back into action back with the Patriots, you were put right into the fire against the New York Jets in a big divisional game, and you actually recovered a fumble in that game. From that time when you were cut up until that Jets game, how did you keep yourself in shape so you were ready to go on the football field come that Sunday night?
I worked out at the local high school that I played growing up, and I just went to a gym, and I kind of just worked on my cardio, and, just in case the phone rang, I was, from speaking to coaches and to my agent, figuring out where I might land, they all said, just make sure you stay in shape. You never know, stay in shape. So that's what I did. I stayed in shape. I would go to high school and work a bunch of bag drills, and I had a good friend of mine played at Syracuse college football, and he would throw me a bunch of balls, and I'd work on, pass drops, and then I would hit the weights at the gym, and that's kind of what I did. I did it probably 3, sometimes 4 times a week, and was just hoping I got picked up somewhere, and it ended up working out.
We're talking to Niko Koutouvides, and one man that has been playing great for you guys this year has been Vince Wilfork, and the big man actually has found the football several times. He has 2 interceptions, a fumble recovery, and he has a touchdown this year. Just talk about Vince Wilfork, the leader in that locker room, and what he's been able to do on the field this year.
Oh, he's a great player. He's a ball hawk right now. Everything's going near him, which is good. Obviously his play speaks for itself. He was selected to another Pro Bowl. Just a great leader in the locker room. Someone that's been around here for a while. Just plays very hard, very consistent. Plays well. He's just it's great to be around guys like that because you can learn a lot from. Plus, they set the prime example for what the Patriots are all about.
And Rob Gronkowski, he's been on this show before, and Tom Brady, I want to take you back to this Denver Broncos game. Gronkowski's been doing the spike all year. Tom Brady had that spike in that Denver Broncos game. Your take, who's a better spiker, Gronkowski or Brady?
Gronk. Gronk's got the spike. It comes with a lot of power. It's vicious. It's exciting. That's his MO right now, and it's kind of fun to watch.
Well, staying here from that Denver Broncos game, there was a lot of hype going around with Tim Tebow. What's your take on Tim Tebow and what he's done so far this year in the National Football League?
Oh, I just think he's a great player. He's all those comebacks are tough to come by, and he's led his team to a lot of victories.
We're talking to Niko Koutouvides. And Niko, 2 more questions right before we let you run. I want to go back to Purdue. And when you were at Purdue, you got to a Rose Bowl. You didn't win that game, but you were playing along the likes of Drew Brees and Matt Light. Drew Brees, we all know, broke Dan Marino's passing record for yards in a season last Monday night up against the Atlanta Falcons. Tell me a little bit more about Drew Brees and what a leader he is.
Oh, yeah, he's an awesome guy, for one, an awesome player. A lot of people doubted him for his height coming out of college, didn't know what type of player he was, and then he had that bad injury in San Diego, and New Orleans gave him another opportunity, and he's come on amazingly. It was awesome to see him break the record, obviously, for being a college teammate of mine. He's a great leader. Obviously, the speech after the game, he was very inspirational. Just happy it happened to someone that I played with in college and that I know. He's just a great quarterback. He's one of the top players in the NFL.
Did you get a chance to talk to him after he broke that record? Do you still keep in contact with your college quarterback?
No, not much. When we play each other, I get a chance to say hi. We talk a little bit on the field, but other than that, no, we don't keep in touch too much contact.
And we all know what kind of player Matt Light is here. He's had an extraordinary career so far with the New England Patriots, number 72. I know he wasn't in the game last week, but was Matt Light still this kind of jokester guy that we hear of with the Patriots that he was back in college? Tell me a little bit more about Matt Light in the college days.
Yeah, Matt is bad. Matt has always been kind of a prankster. He's kind of the life of the party. He's just, he brings the funny side to the locker room. The days that you're grinding in camp and things are tough. Matt and some other guys will put the smile on your face and get the laughs going to make things go easier. Guys like that always make a special team through the bonds and the relationships. Not only on the football field, but like I said, in the locker room and outside of football.
Niko, thanks so much. I appreciate the time. Thank you for joining me. Best of luck against Buffalo this Sunday and going forward in the playoffs.
Thanks, Zach. Appreciate you having me on.